Hi Aries, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a tarot reading for your next 48 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. Do keep in mind this is general, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But as well, do keep in mind this is meant to pertain to the following 48-hour period for you individually, starting around when you're guided or drawn to this video, not just following when I post it. But I do thank you in advance for your love and support by liking, commenting, and of course subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm already being drawn to a picture of a seashell. I do feel like the spiritual meaning of that is coming into play in one way, shape, or form. But we're going to begin and pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and then we'll further speak upon the next 48 hours for you with the Mermaid Tarot. For Aries. I'm hearing burnt out, but you put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, so give yourself some credit, okay, even if others don't give that to you. Okay, that was very awkward. You'll be dealing with some awkward energy. I'm going to take the last one right from the top of the deck. No, I'm not. It feels like you go to do something in the next 48 hours, even surrounding it, and then you recognize that you need to trust your intuition and that wasn't right for you, right? Or you second guess oneself at other moments. Try to make sure that you're in tune with your inner voice, your intuition, how your body is communicating with you, okay? Don't be surprised if you see faces in the next 48 hours due to spirit. It's happening to a lot of people these days, a lot of the signs. Okay, I'm going to go with this one, here and now. All right, so we have 3 here. Community exchanging gifts in here and now. I feel as if there's one specific community you're quite connected to, whether that's an online platform, it could be within your physical reality, where you live, it could be at work. However it ends up working for you, you're feeling connected to that community. You could have built it from the ground up. Dividing 8 in half, we have the number 4 being quite relevant angel number wise, but I do feel like there's an exchanging of gifts taking place in the next 48 hours, and I even feel like that it could be more so just exchanging advice, right? Exchanging stories, but for some Aries drawn to this reading, there's actual gifts being exchanged, or you could be thinking about preparing for purchasing for an exchanging of gifts in the future, okay? There's no place like home. And I really feel like with the Breathe card as well, you're pushed to recognize that, or to remember that you do need that breathing time, that peace, that chance to regain that inner peace. And I feel like a lot of you, home is the place to do that, right? Not everybody has that peaceful, healing kind of living situation, but they're saying work environment. Could be work you're having to heal from, even if you do love or like what you do. But I also feel like underneath it all, you're pushed to think about how not everything that glitters is gold, okay? As I did see the Time to Go card before, that was the one I decided to put back. And I feel like this is a push to reflect on your past out of preparation for your future, all right? Something you want to implement, change, adjust isn't all it's cracked up to be. And to remember that certain places, situations are glorified when it comes to social media, TV, movies, stuff of that nature. That reminder is coming through for a reason. But let's pull some tarot. I do feel like you're presenting work, impressing people all the meanwhile, and it's going to help you get to where you're meant to go. And there's a push to once again trust what feels right and what doesn't for you. I do feel like when presenting work, when dealing with certain emotions, there's a lot to learn about oneself, where you're meant to head, and how it all ties into what you've dealt with up until this point. I do feel like money is on your mind. You could be thinking about a new financial investment, like a living situation or something of the sort in the future. But we didn't even speak upon this. As you're pushed to reflect, as you are thinking about preparing for, even pushed to adjust your perspective on your future, the here and now is taking a highlight, a push to recognize that there is a lot to benefit from, a lot of benefits to stem from where you're at, okay? When you feel the inclination, or you just feel it's most beneficial to come on back to the present moment, to be one with the here and now, there's something to learn, okay, to realize or to remember. I feel like you're getting ready to hatch a new egg for oneself, right? And I don't, it's coming through because it's imagery, but I feel like it's very Empress vibes, getting ready to give birth to something new, a door opening, if you will, for you individually, all right? I'm now hearing a flag for your success, a flag for your success. We're taking you down memory lane, your hall of fame, if you will, to an extent, of your successes and your failures, because it's need be for you to recognize how far you've come, or to remember that you have a lot further to go. What else do we have for Aries? Okay, coming out, the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is turning for you. It's this vibe where you're looking for more control to a certain extent, but things are falling into place for you. And I feel like you'll recognize that when you see how far you've come, or you're pushed to, again, recognize where you're at and the benefits of it, even if it feels quite temporary. But I feel like at times in the next 48 hours, you do come off a bit cold, a bit stern, serious, but all the meanwhile, they're saying the leader within you, you're feeling quite knowledgeable, wise at this point, being pushed to recognize you have what it takes to benefit this community in a lot of ways, but also to just make the best out of what lies ahead, okay? That will come through, but it just feels like in the midst of exchanging gifts, and I feel like even spirits, giving you advice, clarity, a push to adjust your perspective, stuff of that nature, dreams and synchronicities. So it's a very spiritually connected next 48 hours for you. You're thinking about how in the moment you don't have that new financial investment. Could be a new job with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, but I do feel like things will feel more comfortable in the next 48 hours than one would expect going into it. I feel like it's because you need this opportunity to relax, to breathe, to recenter and reground oneself, because I do sense you have a lot going on, and all the meanwhile you're trying to plan for your bright future, to improve, to not feel stuck and limited, right? And I do sense that you feel somewhat alone, even if you do have other individuals, other energies supporting you along your quest to more comfort, peace, serenity, financial stability. But I do feel like, okay, freedom. But I just feel like you feel the inclination to do this change on your own, or to make this decision on your own, or you feel like you're guiding the way. It's that leadership vibe about you where it reminds you that, yeah, there's a lot of rewards and fulfillment wrapped up in leadership, and being so bold to make certain decisions. But it does feel a bit lonely at times, right? I get it. I totally get it. But I do feel like you are reminded that your role as a leader, it has its ups and downs, but you're meant for it, okay? You are meant for it. But I do feel like you're simply seeing your hard work pay off in certain ways, okay? And that's helping you steer your ship towards what you deserve, what's meant for you, however that pertains for you individually. Things falling into place for you. You're pushed to reflect on past moments, even if it goes back a little bit further than others, where you were ready to or did erupt in certain ways, thinking about a volcano. And this is pushed to recognize moving forward, we can't let certain annoying petty factors, is how it's coming through, to get the best of us, because Aries needs to stay composed to for those who look up to you, but also just to ride the waves smoothly towards, again, what's meant for you, all right? But there is a focus on you not fitting in somewhere, okay? Could even, for some, be a focus of a lack of money, and a need to expect the best, a need to recognize where there's lack, where there's a lack of fitting in, or blending in. That's purposeful. They're saying you're not meant to blend in. That is not who you are as an individual. You're a sign, a soul that is meant to stand out. And I feel like you're just, again, a bit burnt out, a bit, just tired is what they're saying. But don't overexhaust oneself by focusing on the negatives too much, all right? We know change is needed at this time. As we have the Empress, all right, you could be thinking about nicer weather, traveling potentially, again, a seashell, all right, but I do feel like you are recognizing that giving birth to something new, properly placed here on top of the King of Swords and the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's just going to happen, all right? What's meant to be will be, period. You don't need to force it, even if you felt like you did once upon a time, all right? Thinking about a passionate, fresh start for you, but also there's just this push to recognize or to remember who and what affects you in a negative sense, energy-wise. Who's giving you anxiety? What area, situation is making you more on edge than you should be at this time, to the point where you have to sort of separate yourself or find that inner peace once again. You know what I'm saying? And this will all come into play and remotivate you or just push you in the right direction towards a passionate, peaceful future for oneself. As I do feel like with the Ace of Cups, you're going to see a lot of abundance stemming from a community you're moving towards and or wrapped up with at this time. But I do feel like you're meant to realize that the abundance in your life at this time is to be noticed, to be for you to be grateful for. But there's more abundance to come, okay? As you're going to even be pushed to think back to a past community you were wrapped up with, a time when you were more playful, less mature, less focused, if you look at this part of the imagery, and even certain souls you were once connected with. But again, it's times in the next 48 hours where you're pushed to walk down memory lane. They're saying for the good and the bad, but just for your benefit is the way you should be looking at it. But I just feel like self-reflection, even self-care needs to be taking place for you, as people are going to notice you in the next 48 hours as somebody who's going places and giving off this vibe to others, or people picking up on the fact that you're a temporary placement and you can't be held back all the meanwhile, thinking about what needs to be cut out, right? What needs to be released, even when it comes to habits. But I do feel like there is a lot of abundance for you to experience moving forward, and you get a taste of that in the next 48 hours, even if things feel like a bit of a whirlwind, all right? So let's pull some charms to wrap up this reading. It's very windy out, and I just heard the winds of change. Yeah, we have a little claw here, and I do feel like there's a bit of a feisty way about you at certain points, or you're reflecting on that from the past. But there also could be a situation or multiple where the energy is quite feisty, all right? Sorry, I should show you as I'm pulling them. We have a fairy, okay? A fairy. It feels like some of you do truly believe in a fairy watching over you, or you could be reminded of this concept when working. Interesting. I do feel like you're being blessed with certain levels of abundance in the next 48 hours either way. We have a lotus here, all right? A lotus. Look up the spiritual meaning, is what they're saying. A leaf. I need to wrap oneself up with nature when you're feeling quite feisty. But I do feel like you're pushed to recognize that self-love is the way at this time. And you will acquire the key that you're meant to, okay? Utilize music to benefit oneself as you move forward, okay? So I hope this reading was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go have yourself an amazing next 48 hours, and I will see you next time. Bye, Aries.